which it differs. That actually, despite the way you've been trained and hypnotized and brainwashed since childhood to think about yourself, you are actually wounded. You're wounded in ways that you cannot see. Part of your wounding, the double bind of the part of your wounding that you've experienced, is that you're actually blind to these wounds. That's what makes this such a pernicious and insidious thing to be dealing with. We call it complex PTSD. Now that sounds very technical and complicated. Basically what it means is that from an early age you experienced psychological and emotional wounds that you cannot visibly see, obviously, because they're in the psychological and emotional plane, and you were trained to never acknowledge them. You were trained to never acknowledge any of your pains or indeed any of your needs. You are now suffering from, this is what we call complex PTSD. We can't define the moment when the trauma occurred, because there were many moments and there were many traumas, and they took place over a very long period of time, and they were mainly emotional and psychological, so you could never actually see them because you were trained to be blind to the trauma in the same way that you were trained to be blind to the wounds. Now imagine that you as a person are covered in these wounds. We call them triggers, emotional triggers in different parts of you, in different parts of your being. You get with a person that we refer to as a covert narcissist. This is somebody who seems like a very nice person, but beneath the surface they have their own agenda and they're actually extremely